100,000. That's the number of people that the population of the GTA grows by every year. In this, there's an increased population density and an increase to use the space that we have more efficiently.
100,000, that means there are 100,000 more people coming into the GTA every year who want spaces to pet cats or to paint pictures of cats or to throw parties.
The cost of space is becoming much, much higher. So what do? We combine the people that have space with the people that are looking for space.
Understanding the audiences here, the majority of us probably don't have $200 to blow by the hour for a snazzy art exhibition space in downtown Toronto, and therefore our team has developed SPACr, which is a service that can be accessed through our website or our app to better provide customers with the spaces that they require for their day-to-day lives.
With SPACr, we're able to go onto an online platform and quickly find the exact type of space we need, whether it be commercial space, whether it be indoor or outdoor recreation, or event spaces to hold events, such as Y2.
All right, so you're probably sitting here and you're like, I've gone through 10 presentations today. What makes your service great? Why do I need SPACr? SPACr is a service that defeats 3 problems. So there's the environmental problem of land use and also the social problems. So if we were to implement the system, we'd break down the financial and the physical barrier, blocking people from meeting up with others due to a lack of space. And also it will reduce a lot of mental anxiety and issues. Myself being a city youth counselor, there have been occasions where I had to organize 41 counselors into the middle of a second cup downtown because I could not book a room in City Hall 3 months in advance. That happens a lot, unfortunately. So we're contract free, we're accessible, and we're affordable so that individuals of all backgrounds and all ages can use it.
So SPACr currently offers 2 types of spaces, workspace and play space. So our target market is for renters and listers alike. So renters include youth organizations, students, and listers include people who own space. So we will be using a multifaceted marketing plan consisting of Facebook, Google AdWords, and most importantly, word of mouth. So we will be encouraging the use of word of mouth through our our referral program, which will give people who refer other new clients to us a discount.
Next, we'll be talking about the UI and the specific design elements that we've implemented based on user input.
So we designed SPACr with the user in mind, and that is why we offer users 4 key preferences in order to select the space that they require for their needs. These preferences were validated with our customer surveys, and the preferences include the time, location, the type of space required, as well as the amount of people that will be attending the event that they're holding. We have also included a website as well as a mobile app in order to allow users to seamlessly integrate from their desktop to mobile version.
That's right, and thank you so much. We've put a lot of development, and also in regards to the appeal, we've made sure that the layout is very easy to use so that audiences who are not so techy can also navigate around it. We'll also include a terms and conditions before accessing the app to make sure that users comply.
All right, next we'll be talking about the bottom line, the finance, the things that investors care most about. So we will have 2 main sources of revenue that will be used to recoup our costs in terms of development. And this will be a skim off of every transaction of 6% to 12% from the user based on the size of the transaction, as well as a 3% skim off of the hosts and the amount of money the host will be getting. And this will be a form of revenue. In addition to this, we'll be offering the opportunity for listers to bump up their listing in order to have more people view it, and in exchange, we'd be getting a small nominal fee. What's interesting about SPACr is that we have no marginal cost. The more people we serve, the more money we make. It's simple as that. Our only costs are maintenance. This is a certain projection, and we believe that this can be refined with more market research. Now, our competition mainly are these other peer-to-peer products, such as Airbnb, Kijiji, as well as Breather. Breather offers office space at a high rate, and they only have 19 offices. And our market research suggests that we can offer the same sorts of rooms at a fraction of the price, approximately half. Airbnb only does lodging, and Kijiji is simply not optimized for space rentals such like our company.
For example, I was not too keen on renting out a volleyball court about 2 years ago for 25 bucks an hour through a lengthy chain of emails. Hey, when are you gonna swing by? Hey, can you lower the price? And I had to pay in cash. It was not a pleasant experience. My mom was not very happy with me. But SPACr, had it existed 2 years ago, perhaps I would have saved myself a yelling at.
Based on customer validation, we've determined that 90% of 90% of the people surveyed have some difficulty finding venues, and 80% of people would be willing to use a service such as SPACr that makes booking venues easier.
Okay, and also let's get down to the crack. What do the listers think? We've talked to 4 organizations that already rent out or provide spaces, and we've received generally very positive feedback. A lot of organizations would be very keen on a service that would speed up the booking process to increase accessibility and to also generate more revenues. Take into example the Markham Civic Center, as seen by our color key on the top.
Next, we'll be talking about our rollout phase, our business plan over the next 3 years. Phase 1 will be initial testing, and during this phase, we'll be developing our minimum viable product, and we'll be doing this through beta testing, in which we will offer our service for free. We'll be going to businesses and organizations such as the Small Business Association of Ontario, as well as many cultural groups and their businesses, in order to develop a supply of businesses as well as beta testers to hopefully promote the product in the future, as well as determine key features that will be included in the final product. The next phase will be the regional rollout, and in this we will charge our full fees of 6 to 12% for the user, 3% for the host. And in our larger market, we'll be able to collect user data further and hopefully refine our product for the last stage, when we will be entering the international market. During the international market, we will have
great presentation, very impressive. Lots of stuff done for such a short time. App mock-up, website, great.
Sorry about that. Please continue.
Yeah, I guess my question is, building a marketplace is a really challenging task. You have to get a chicken and egg problem. How are you going to solve it? How are you going to make this marketplace actually, how you engage renters and I guess office owners to be on your platform?
That's a great question. I was actually very inspired by the promotional models of Tilt, an upcoming cash flow exchange app. And I believe that one of our target markets are young ones, so like university students and millennials alike. So we will definitely be using a lot of social media to promote the buying and the usage of these services. But in regards to the listing of these spaces, personally, I have contacted my lovely curling club, and they're very keen on gaining a greater outreach and to provide a more efficient rental system. So there are also different web forums and different connections and organizations, as Werver had mentioned, that many small businesses are engaged within. So shall we promote our listing, our service, or even our ads through these different channels? Then I believe that this increased exposure will greatly benefit the growth of our business.
In terms of channels we'll be using, in order to contact businesses, we'll be using mainly personal selling approaches in order to develop a reputation. And during our second phase, regional rollout, we'll be offering a free listing on the first listing so that they will
Free promoted listing, mind you.
Yeah, a free promoted listing in
Top
order
of
to
the page.
Okay, so is there a category that you're specifically going to attack? Because there's a very big difference between a curling club and a park space, or the types of meeting rooms that Breather uses. I'm glad you brought it up. There's a reason why they have only 19 spaces. It's because they had to sign long-term contracts with all the property holders for each of those spaces. So I'm wondering if you've considered that, and as my esteemed judge to my right asked before, have you questioned the liability when you bring all the community managers to the curling club and then someone takes a curling rock to the head? Who pays the insurance?
That's a fantastic question. So as for sports facilities, we'll mainly connect existing sports facilities. So we're basically like a tool, a communications network to just link these people. We are not really providers, which sets us apart from Breather. We have looked into the legality, and as for Markham and also the City of Toronto, we actually stand on good terms. You had touched base on gardens. So gardens we're not really targeting mainly in our first phase of the rollout. I have inquired the City of Markham about the legality, and they thought it was a great point, and they've yet to get back to me on that, but you can refer to this map for zoning regulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.